James Bond, a series of novels started in the 1950s by Ian Fleming that later exploded into a pop culture phenomenon, expanded by films and later video games. And in both of these media forms, there have been good products, bad products, and decent products that could have been better, as well as various actors who have stepped into the shoes of this suave and deadly secret agent. Today I'll be looking at a little time capsule of 007 history in the form of a video game that's well liked by some and panned by others. So here is 007 Legends for the Wii U. The game starts at the first scene of the latest 007 movie, Skyfall, the scene with Bond accidentally getting shot by his partner and falling into the water. Once in the water, this is where the game takes over. He then has flashbacks to certain past missions from the following 007 films: Goldfinger, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, License to Kill, Die Another Day, and Moonraker, plus 2 levels from Skyfall that were originally DLC on the 360 and PS3 versions of the game. As Bond, you play through abridged versions of these movies in 2 or 3 levels. But this brings up my first issue. Why does Skyfall only have 2 missions from the first 20 minutes of the film? And they aren't even that good. If there had been a mission in the casino, for example, the casino would have been a great multiplayer map. Instead, it's a missed opportunity by Eurocom, and believe me, that's not the only missed opportunity in this game. The graphics are the same here as the other versions of the game. Granted, they could have been better by Wii U standards, but they are still decent visuals. Some environments you play through are bland looking, while others like the Ice Palace are very pretty to look at. Even better to play through in multiplayer. The character models are animated to look just like the original film actors. At least, most of them.
Bond? James Bond?
Wait, you're not Halle Berry? Who are you?
Sarah Connor?
I don't think so. The audio quality is about the same as the visuals. Good, but probably could have been better. Voice acting is good in some areas and kind of weak in others. It doesn't help that this game uses Daniel Craig's Bond, and he isn't even voiced by Daniel Craig. Check the end credits if you don't believe me. There is a good selection of music in this title though, an interesting mix of modern and old school 007 music that tends to lean more towards modern. But I do think a lot of the sound effects are off, by which I mean the gun sounds don't seem accurate to their respective guns, although the sounds of the Moonraker laser are pretty cool, but I'll get to that gun later. My biggest issue with the audio is the intro screen right when you start the game.
Jeez! Stop shouting! I'm not deaf!
I mean, it's cool that you want to excite the player, but couldn't you do that without startling our ears right after we select the game in the Wii U menu? That is unnecessary. When it comes to the overall gameplay, it's solid.
Tell me the truth. You owe me that much.
Alright, the gameplay is like this. It improves in some areas of the 2010 GoldenEye, but in other areas, it seems to have taken steps backwards. As one might expect, it blends stealth gameplay with run-and-gun gameplay like older 007 games. But one problem with this are the critical stealth sections, where as soon as you get caught, you fail the mission. This wouldn't be such a problem if you could move the bodies of downed foes off to the side, similar to Splinter Cell or Deus Ex Human Revolution. But because of how easily you can be spotted by an enemy you may not have even noticed before, these sections are very frustrating and counteractive to the player choice of stealth play or shoot everything play. Legends is also pretty inconsistent in the quality of the levels. There are fun and engaging levels like the Moonraker levels. Say what you will about the movie, the game levels based on said movie are actually quite fun, especially with the Moonraker laser that's been modified into a submachine gun. Best gun in the whole game, hands down. Yeah, I may be a sucker for lasers. Anyway, despite the fun missions, every so often there are annoying levels like the ski level from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I think the main problem with this level is that it just doesn't control well, and you have to keep up your speed so as not to lose your target, which makes controlling Bond even worse. You know, maybe everything related to that movie is cursed because of George Lazenby's Bond. Worst Bond ever. And then there are the boxing matches. I can see how the developers made these with the idea that they would make quick-time melee combat more exciting, and they are kind of fun and change things up. But they just come across as silly. with the slow motion hits and your opponent standing in 4 different stances where he's practically saying, "Hit me here." From my time in martial arts, I can tell you that no one with any real training is going to handle a real fight by presenting you with a target like this. On the subject of quick time events, Legends relies too much on them, seemingly more so than the GoldenEye remake. They do make for interesting cinematic experiences, but they do get old fast because of how frequently they come up. So with all these things, what's good about Legends besides the fun of shooting lots of bad guys? Well, for starters, gadgets are back. And I don't just mean Bond's smartphone, although that has some cool features of its own. It acts as a fingerprint scanner, camera, and a hacking device that triggers different minigames that actually provide decent challenges. The next gadget is the dart pen, which can fire distraction darts, knockout darts, or electric blast darts. It's a cool gadget that really comes in handy for stealth.
What do you think?
Must resist obvious pen mightier than sword joke. Finally, there's the return of a 007 favorite, the laser watch, which also acts as a mini radar and an electronic lockpick for safes. Instead of the laser cutting metal though, it's an EMP laser used to short circuit cameras and other devices to make stealth easier. While this slight change in function is a bit disappointing, it is one that makes sense. Of course, it wouldn't be a 007 game without at least one driving level, and 007 Legends has that, but the best of those is the driving level in Die Another Day, as the one in License to Kill is short and generic, and the Skyfall bike chase controls about as well as the ski level. Unfortunately, the Die Another Day car chase doesn't control that well either, even after turning on tire traction. I get that it's on ice, but still, kinda irritating to play, so it's not quite as fun as the car levels in Nightfire. The campaign mode is only compatible with the WiiU gamepad. If you want to use the Pro Controller, you'd better be playing local multiplayer. With this in mind, you would expect the gamepad to be used in clever ways. Well, it kind of is. The gamepad displays your weapons, radar, and gadgets and lets you change your weapons and gadgets by touching them. It also uses touch controls for hacking and lockpicking minigames. It also works as a keypad for entering codes. Aside from all that, Legends doesn't use the gamepad quite as well as other Wii U games, so it's a bit confusing that it doesn't come with off-TV play. I did notice that the aiming was too fast at the default setting, so if you get this game, it might be wise to turn down the aiming speed a notch. If you don't, aiming can get pretty frustrating. But here's one feature that caught my attention about this game. Throughout a level, you can find a briefcase where you can spend experience points on weapon attachments. Then while you're there, you can customize the weapons you currently have on you to further allow you to play how you want to play. This is good not only for the feature of customization itself, but also for giving incentive to go back and replay a level for a better score to earn more XP. So completionists can spend a lot of time replaying the game to improve their scores and have fun shooting enemies the whole way through. It's just too bad you can't choose which weapons you play a level with from the campaign menu like in Black Ops 2. That just seems like it would be a fitting feature in a 007 game. Legends also includes 10 challenge levels, 5 where you play as Bond, and 5 where you play as villains or supporting characters. There are different types of challenges from infiltration or escape to assault or defense. The levels are relatively short, but they're very engaging, and the better you do in a challenge, the higher your score in the online leaderboard will be. If you don't care about bragging rights though, you can add more customization to the challenge to make it harder, easier, or just plain entertaining. I personally love to turn on overpowered weapons, paintball mode, and ragdoll physics. Look at them fly as I blast them with paint. Why aren't these options in the campaign? That would have been awesome! See, another missed opportunity. Legends also comes with an online multiplayer mode. To show you what it's like, let me find a match for you guys. Don't worry, people will show up. Any day now.
What's going on?
Apparently nothing. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's about what looking for an online match is like now. Ghost Town. Until you're lucky enough to run into a bunch of other people, then you can start the multiplayer mayhem. The multiplayer is similar to GoldenEye. Customized loadouts, various modes of play, maps inspired by the game, and you unlock new weapons and perks by earning XP. But I do like how it's a lot easier to earn XP fast in this game as opposed to GoldenEye. This is good for players who want to use more cool weapons without spending too much time online. It does run well and it's fun to play online. It's just too bad that the most likely way you'll find a match at all is if you look for a team conflict lobby. I also feel like it could have benefited from having a few more maps. Topping off the multiplayer side of this game is local multiplayer. Local multiplayer has a lot of good things going for it. Great selection of weapons from the main game, customizable loadouts, playing as classic Bond characters, killing each other on cool maps, and being able to implement fun modifiers like paintball and singularity. Unfortunately, there are some flaws here. For starters, each of the 4 players have to choose their character and weapon set one at a time instead of all at once, and I don't understand why Eurocom did that. Were they really not able to get 4 screens of loadout customization running at the same time? I can't think of any other sensible reason for this. Also, there's no multiplayer map inspired by the Moonraker space station. I don't know about the rest of you, but I think that would have made a cool multiplayer map. Zero Gravity Deathmatch could have been a fun thing too. My last issue with local multiplayer is one I also had with the GoldenEye remake, and that is the complete absence of any multiplayer bots. Yet another missed opportunity. So sad. It's just so sad. The short-sightedness and laziness. It's just so sad.
Stop being such a pussy!
Those points aside, the local multiplayer is fun with friends, and on the Wii U version, one player has the option of playing on his own screen with the gamepad so the other 3 can't screen look. It also allows the gamepad player to enjoy the same experience, but in a more stealthy way. And actually, there are a couple of Wii U exclusive local multiplayer modes that take advantage of the gamepad player having his own screen, once again showing how the abilities of the Wii U can bring new additions to multiplayer. So is 007 Legends a terrible game? No. It's an enjoyable 007 game for Wii U owners, but some annoying choices in game design hold this game back from being great. If it sounds like fun for you, pick up a copy for your Wii U, but don't pay full price for this if you could avoid it. We have a used games market for a reason.
You were right. It's not too late. Together we could rule the earth.
I think not.
Take a giant leap for mankind, Drax.
Hasta la vista, baby.